Talk about the financial sector a little bit. XLF on the daily chart, still a series of higher highs and higher lows, looking really nice. Now we had some breakdown in PayPal over the last couple of weeks. Chart is trading below the 200 moving average. We had a three-price relationship based on Fib retracements. It did not hold. Where do we go from here? I think there's more downside correction to this. Now let's also take a quick look at 𝗧𝗏. I was looking at this. I'm looking for potential more downside correction. I'd like to see if I can repeat some patterns over and over. We are establishing a series of lower highs and lower lows. So instead of looking for symmetry support and looking for symmetry resistance, for example, I'm going to do some pulls like this, using that pivot low, pivot high, pivot low. Okay, we can find another one over here using this pivot low, pivot high, pivot low. That could be some potential resistance on top. Now I can also use my Fib retracements. Clicking from that pivot high to pivot low, I do have a 618 that is slightly above that 200 moving average on the daily. Here we have Mastercard. Mastercard is also exhibiting weakness, trading below the 200 moving average on the daily chart. Checking out Visa as well. Visa has also been showing weakness the last couple of weeks. And this is a chart pattern that I mapped out a couple of weeks ago. Looking to see if price can get up to that 200 moving average, using that as resistance, continues to sell off to the downside. Now we did not get this come through fruition. It's just continuing to sell off right against some moving averages. And this is what happens in trading. You have a plan in place, but it doesn't always do what you want it to do. So you just let it go and find another chart to participate in. I'm going through XLF today. I'm looking at there's some potential weakness in the financial sector, and this potential could bleed over to bigger banks. And from there, if we have more downside correction, we may see downside corrections in other sectors as well. So I'm just preparing, but one day at a time. I don't try to predict what's going to happen tomorrow so much as to I'm just looking for setups that may repeat themselves over and over on a chart. And that's what we do, looking for that three-price relationship with clarity. And let's take a quick look. If I were to take a quick look at 𝗧𝗏 one more time, now I can also find some potential intermediate pulls. If I were to use this particular pivot low to pivot high, projecting it to that recent low, this bring me right up to that 200 moving average. So that's the first price relationship. Here we have a second. I'm using that 618, right? And from there, I like to see if I can find a third. So I need to go through the history of this chart, try to find a third price relationship. Now, this is very similar to another chart I looked at previous. So I'm looking to see if I can get up here, if I have a three-price relationship, and from here, more downside correction. If you'd like to learn how to find high probability setups using Fibonacci analysis, check out my course in the descriptions below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe now, hit that notification button. We go over cryptocurrencies as well as US equities. Love to hear from you in the comments area, and I'll talk to you soon.